This video has been brought to you by Hooks, Rubs, and Spices.
We got new shows every Sunday.
And I'm rambling to Rob.
Here we go.
What up, everybody? This your boy B-Rob, and I'm back with another edition of the Random Rambles with Rob podcast. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you, the listener, for coming back each and every week or however you listen to podcasts. If you're a first-time listener, I'd like to thank you oh so much for giving my show a try. And if you had anybody recommend you to me, go ahead, if you're in that person's general vicinity, give that person a crisp high five. But not to fret, if you're not in their general vicinity, go ahead and open up your social media app of choice, to whether it be Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, whatever have you, and craft this person a sincere DM telling them thank you for recommending me to you, or you to me, however I usually say that. I'm flustered right now. I've been doing some workouts in here. I'm setting up lights and shit and trying to figure out settings that I don't normally do because I have a guest. But before I get to my guest, I'm forgetting all my other stuff that I normally do. Social media. You can find the show on social media on all types of platforms, to include Facebook. Just type in the Random Rambles with Rob in the search bar, or you can do facebook.com/3R show. You can find me on Instagram, to where you use hashtag 3R show or hashtag Walmart log, so you can see me walking around Walmart saying all type of shit and stuff. And you can find me on Twitter at 3R show. Boom. Now back to the guest thing that I was talking about. You know, every week I got somebody new here. And speaking of new, this person is very new to the podcasting game and everything, to my knowledge and anything, because I pull up the person profile on Twitter. I was like, 90 followers. And then I look at the profile picture. All right, so these two ain't matching. I was like, I look at the face, and the face is nice and everything. Then I look at the followers, and I was like, wait a minute, they do a podcast, and there's only 90, and it's the pretty face. And I'm just like, the shit ain't going. The calculations is off. I'm looking like that meme, you know, where the lady looking off into the distance, it got all the freaking algebra and geometry floating.
The insecure one with Issa Rae.
Exactly. That's what I was like in my head. But then I was like, must be new. So, you know, in tradition, you know, me along many moons ago, 4 years ago, almost in January, to where I was that person. I was the one that didn't know how to do shit and how to host a freaking podcast, and I still don't. And, you know, all the ins and outs that you learn over time and everything. So as a tradition, I like to get people, you know, when they're first starting out in the infancy of their podcast and whatnot, or their journey into broadcasting in general. So with that being said, fresh on the podcasting boat,
Fresh fish. Thank you so much for having me on your show. I appreciate it. So my name is Vivi Fabolous, and I have a podcast called Not Perfect, Just Broke, the podcast for the struggling millennial. And you guys can find me anywhere just by typing the phrase "Not Perfect, Just Broke." So that includes Instagram, Twitter, wherever your mom uses. That's where you can find it.
You know, to this day, I only have a Facebook because my mom sent me a Facebook request.
I believe it. I don't like Facebook anymore. Facebook used to be popular, but now it's just like, ugh, with Facebook.
Yeah, so I mean, it's about, what, 10 years ago at the starter? Yeah, about 10 years ago. Because it was around, well, hold on, let me get my math right. It's 10, you take that away, that's 2009, right? Am I doing that right? Remember,
yes.
How I was confused earlier. We had the freaking geometry and algebra floating around my head. I was like that just now with some more math. So, yeah, because that was about the time that I had my Twitter account, too. Because I got on Twitter about 08, 09, and I still didn't have a Facebook at that time. But the only reason, like I said, I got it, because my mom sent me an email, of all things, with a Facebook request in it, because I didn't have Facebook. And I was like, fuck, I got to get Facebook.
Aw, you're sweet.
Well, I didn't want to, but it was my mama, so I couldn't say no.
I totally unfriended my mom, so that's.
Well,
I have to. I come from a strict family, so I had to do what I had to do.
Well, it's like I unfriended my mom because, like, okay, so I'm 37.
Yeah.
And my mom, right now, as we speak, is 78. So, you know, backtrack, you know, 10 years ago or whatever, she's still pretty old, opening up a Facebook account, sending her young son friend requests, and I'm just like, okay, but at the same time, she don't know how to work technology too well. So instead of doing, I forgot password and getting back into my shit, she just opened up a whole nother fucking Facebook. She got like 8 fucking Facebooks and shit. And I'm just like, I don't know if this you or a catfish trying to get my information. So I'm just like, whatever. I don't even like none of them no more.
Mothers are so lovely. I appreciate them. I really do.
But what's weird about it though is I go to her house, I write down all the information because I go in the account and I'll be like, all right, this is, and I'll put a message on her Facebook and I'll be like, this is, her, this is Leola Robinson, this is her Shannon, I unlocked her account and this is her profile. The other ones are all fake. So
now let's hope that she remembers the password, because my mom is that type of person where it's like, oh no, I'm not going to give you the password, I'm gone. And then she'll forget the password and she'll be like, so what password would you think that I would use for this? And I'm like, what?
Okay. And then you threw the accent on there.
Yes, my mom is West Indian. She's Haitian. So like an American accent, you won't get the joke. But with the Caribbean accent, it's like more funny.
Yeah, because it's just like stereotypes, right?
No, it's not stereotypical. That's exactly how she is. Like when I mock her, there's times that she thinks like I'm one of her family members. She's like, oh, so you speaking to me like that? And I'm like, yes, mommy, I'm talking to you like that. And she's like, people from New York. But I definitely take my Haitian pride very seriously. I speak fluent Haitian Creole and fluent French.
Word. I mean,
see,
that's kind of like my roots or whatever, because I'm from Louisiana and they speak a whole bunch of Creole, like the older members of my family do. But I never grasped it too much. I mean, they even taught us that in elementary, down there, but they did away with it, and I just never bothered to keep up with it. But sometimes I get sentimental and stuff, and I'll be like, I wish I would have kept in tradition and whatnot, because my kids don't know no other damn language. It makes me sad sometimes. My son took a couple of years of Spanish. He kind of hold on to, some of the words or whatever, but mostly like anybody, it's just cuss words. So.
Right. Yeah, it's one of those things where you just have to send the person to the country for like a few years.
Yeah, because
they have no choice but to speak the language.
Yeah, you got to survive.
Exactly.
Because you're going to be hungry as fuck and be like,
Yo tengo hombre, por favor. Yeah. And they're like, you made it to level 1.
Exactly. Because, I'm trying to get better at Spanish because I deal with the language every day. Because, I deal with ICE. So there it is. Well, you looking.
You should have told me that before. Wait.
Well, now I don't work for ICE. I just occupy the same building as them, as their security. So
this sounds like an ambush, Rob. I'm sorry. This sounds like an ambush. Like, oh yeah, West Indian ICE. Next, I'm gonna hear a door knock, and they're gonna say, "Just come outside. I just want to see something." And then I'm gonna see that white van.
You'll be like,
and send me back to Haiti, even though I'm not even an immigrant.
Be like, we got her. Go ahead, move in. But it's an interesting experience just working in the building. Like I said, I don't work for them. I just do their security. So right. I see the ins and the outs and everything. And I'm just like, I'll stand there and, give the standard greeting. Hello, how are you? And then they'll just look at me. And I'm like, I forget how I go. Puerto Ayudarte or something like that. How can I help you or something like that? And then they'll just still kind of stare at me because they don't Spanish to them, or broken Spanish anyway.
Right.
And then I'll be like, de algo, which means say something. Just say something. I can pick up on whatever you're trying to say, because there's key words in your phrases that I know that you're here for. And I just need you to say something. I'm like, de algo, say something.
They probably be looking at you like, he's
exactly.
Trying real hard.
I ain't trying real hard because I want you to get the hell in here, do what the fuck you got to do so you can get the fuck out.
Oh my God. Shout outs to Spanish people. I went to Mexico last month and it was just so beautiful. I love them.
I'll get there one day. I am enjoying their cuisine living here in Houston, Texas, though. I had a torta the other day. Man, blew my socks off.
I mean, you're technically like what, 45 minutes away from Mexico? Like, so how does that travel go? Like, do you actually have to take a plane or can you just drive through like the border from Texas?
Well, shit. I mean, it depends on where you, because like Laredo is like the entry point for most of these people, whatever. And then once they get identified as illegal, they give them their paperwork, and then they pretty much scatter to wherever the fuck they're gonna go. Like they get here, and most of them have a setup on the other side to where I got family here, so I'll go to San Antonio or Houston or Corpus Christi or wherever they land at or whatever. Then once they get there, they'll go to the ICE office in that area. They'll report in. They'll get a court date, and then they'll just pretty much go from there.
But like for you, can you go through the Mexican border like via driving, or do we always have to take a plane?
Oh, not me. Not from where I live at. It'll take me a couple of hours. I had to go further down south. Houston is more up toward, Louisiana area and everything. So I'm by the Gulf. I'm not that close.
I find that very shocking because it took less than 3 hours from New York City to Cancun, Mexico. So I would think yours would probably be like 15 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah, a flight would, that'd be a hop, skip, and a jump or whatever. As soon as I get on the plane, I'll be touching down. And I was like, damn, I ain't buckled my seatbelt yet.
The scam of the Western society.
I know, man. We all illegal anyway, so I'm just like.
I'm not illegal.
Well, I'm just talking about in the whole scheme of things.
Nah, not when you work for ICE. I'm sorry, not where the building you work for is ICE.
I'm probably losing my job now. I don't care.
I'm a citizen, okay?
Yeah, me too. I think.
I was about to say I love Trump. No, I love politics.
See, and I don't dabble. I mean, what aspects of it do you enjoy?
Politics?
Yeah.
No, I was just joking around. Like, just in case, like, someone was, like, spying on us, I'd be like, I love politics. I love Bernie Sanders. I love George Bush. No, if I love George Bush, they're going to keep me here.
Well.
But no, I really hate politics because it's more based off of connection and a crowd. It's less about common sense and being factual.
Yeah.
And I work for the government, so I definitely know the ins and outs of that bureaucracy.
I.e., look at our president.
Yeah.
We talk about whenever he was even announced his candidacy. Soon as I heard the words come out of his mouth, I knew he was going to win. And it's like I didn't have confidence in him to be like a president, but I just know us as a society, us as the United States is some weird motherfuckers. So I knew he was going to win.
We have stupid people who are the type of people who are very susceptible to loud noise. So when they see a loud person, they think that by the person being loud, that increases their incredibility. Not incredibility, their credibility. Look at my tongue twisters. But when I see Donald Trump and the way that he speaks, I see that people who usually wouldn't listen to politics, they're listening to politics. So they're just like, oh, look, he's loud. He's not being intellectual. He's not Harvard. And he's saying that he's going to build a wall and they took our jobs. I'm going to vote for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how it be, loud noises.
Yeah, literally. And we can talk about that pertaining to religion, too. I mean, when you see some of our pastors and leaders in our community, a lot of them are just loud. Yeah. But they're saying things that we know. They're just repeating common sense.
Deep. Anyway, how'd you get into podcasting?
Well, I always was the person where people would compliment me and say that I would be a great radio host. And I used to do journalism. So therefore, one day in September, I was just like, I really hate my job and I want to speak about it. And then I literally like drew on a sticky and I was like, I want my logo to be a penny with me on it. And I want it to be a funny pun, not perfect, just broke. And that's how it started.
Yeah, what a word. I mean, that's how it all starts. It all starts with an idea, and that idea.
Exactly. Because not perfect just broke comes from the notion that you don't have any credibility until you have money.
Word.
Yeah. So that's my disclaimer when I tell people.
I dig it. I mean, do you feel like that translate into any other aspects? Like, all right, you say if you have X amount of money or whatever, that gives you what the young people say, the clout and whatnot. But do you feel like with social media and everything, do followers equal that same type of clout, or things of that nature?
Well, before Instagram changed their policy, it was like that.
Mm-hmm.
But from what I've seen, after that policy, it hurt a lot of people's business and it decreased a lot of people's followers. So you can't even use Instagram marketing services the right way because there's a cap on it. So it's not something where it's like you can follow, unfollow, or like millions. It's like, no, there's a cap and they'll stop you. So you can either like tap onto it, and then even when you tap on it, it doesn't allow it, because I would just look at Instagram services and I would just mock them. I'm like, oh, you're liking all these things and you're commenting? I can do that myself. But then after the Instagram policy, they limit that.
Word. Okay. Yeah. And it was funny because like I was on the fence about Instagram. What else? Because like all the platforms I use Instagram and Twitter the most. And I enjoy Instagram because at some point I do want to do video, but at the same time I don't like to hassle with all the fucking editing and setting up the camera. So Instagram is like my platform for that. 30 seconds, 15 seconds, a minute, and I'm out of there. And whatever. I ain't got to set up no cameras. I ain't got to put up no lights or nothing.
No, I agree, but I'm like super analytical. So for my first little segment of late night confessions, I thought it was going to be easy, but it was hard because you know how you visualize something. It's going to be like, yeah. And then I was just like, I had to use my tripod to do like those dramatic camera flips.
Oh, yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God, this is a lot of work. And then to edit it, and then sometimes it wouldn't transfer is easy. And people were like, where's episode 2? And I'm like, who? You guys are going to have to donate to the Kickstarter so I can get a better camera, because that was a lot.
Yeah. And that's kind of like my quirk or whatever is I like technology.
Yes.
But at the same time, I don't know if I just coming to the realization that I think I'm just a damn hoarder, because I got I got like 4 fly ass Canon cameras or whatever, and I think when I was experimenting with like the video stuff for YouTube and everything, I had a camera set up right here where I'm sitting. I had a camera straight on in front of me. I had a camera hooked to the camera pointing up from the floor and shit. And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get all these motherfucking angles. This is gonna look like a sitcom in this.
Exactly.
Then I was just like, wait a minute. So I gotta take the audio out of this one. I gotta cut this one at the same angle as this one. And I gotta line them up. And I was like, nah, fuck this guy. So
that was exactly me. I was just like, here I was looking at other YouTubers or like other people that do like video comedy when they do it. I'm like, it must be easy. I'm like, this crap is hard. And then it would be worse where it's like you would get the audio, but then like someone in the house would do something. Like I remember getting a great shot and then someone decided to like wash their hands. So as I'm talking, go here, do. And I'm just like, I can't mute this out. I got to do this again. So I literally had to dress exactly how I was in the same lighting.
And that was another thing too, is just exactly that point to where I said something funny and it, the take was good, but that door behind me, if you can see it, goddamn kid walk in. And I'm just like, matter of fact, I got one video. It was some people that threw me some bags for free. I just had to do like an unboxing commercial for them or something. Gaston Luca, I think that's what it was. And I'm in the kitchen, my wife holding the camera and everything, and I'm trying to do the unboxing video. Doom. Little kid come in. You can see him in frame of the camera, just standing there looking at my wife holding the camera, videotaping me. And I'm just like, fuck it, I just keep going. And they walk off. Then the other one comes downstairs. Doom. Stop. Look at the camera. Come on, dog. And I just leave it in there. I'm just like, fuck it. I zoom in on them and like, look, what are you doing? Then I go back to the video.
Yo, that's so funny. They're like, what's going on here? Okay. Yeah. Go back upstairs.
And I can understand their curiosity because they don't hardly see me do stuff like that and anything. So they've been like, what is this? Is this father? He's doing some things that he doesn't normally do. I had to examine this.
So, do you or did you ever explain to them about the fact that you're a podcaster? Like,
Yeah.
have you had that conversation with them?
Oh, well, they know what I do, especially the young one, because she always, sometimes she's sitting here while I'm editing and she'll, watch me do stuff and everything. But all the kids know. I got 3 kids. And
Wow.
even at a point in time, I tried to get them to do their own podcast, but you know how, especially with teenagers, because I got 2 of those, and then the young one is 9. So the young one is in the generation now to where everything is YouTube, and they were looking at playthroughs and tutorials, and other kids play with toys and everything. So she feels comfortable doing stuff like this, because I can sit her right here, right now, and she'll just host this show without me. Only thing I have to do is turn on the recorder, and she can do this show by herself. The boy, he is like middle ways, because he is the middle child. So he's kind of like more of a, got to be hands-on at the same time. But then the oldest one is just like stereotypical girl, teenage, want to be TikTok famous or some shit like that. So she just, trying to get the followers up and doing, the trendy stuff or whatever they doing on TikTok or Instagram just to get the likes and shit. So I got 3 levels of it with all them. But I tried to get them to do their own podcast, but the older one's like, I ain't got time for this. I'm trying to be Instagram famous, so I'm going over here and do this. The boy,
Let her do what she needs to do. But that youngest, see if you can. I don't know if you looked at, what is it, Hulu or Netflix? But remember that young kid? I think he's the one who started it with testing the toys out, and then companies started giving him toys to unbox by himself and then play with it. He has a show.
Yep.
On Netflix and Hulu, and it's an animated show. And then he also has a show in Nickelodeon, and I think he's under 9.
Yeah, and I think he even got his own brand of toys and stuff.
He's more than a millionaire. I know that because I remember a few years ago they were talking about, look at this kid, he's a millionaire, and he doesn't even know what he's doing.
And that's the thing for me, because like, I don't know, because like with him, I don't know his story and everything and how it came to be. I mean, he's probably had parents that videotaped the kid playing with toys and uploaded it.
Right.
But, like, for me, in my sense, I'm just like, I work all day, then I come home and I try to do this as best as I can for the amount of time that I can do it, and then I got them to where they want to do that stuff too, but then I gotta go spend money for them to do that thing for free. So it's I don't know.
I mean, use your platform. I mean, a lot of people do it. You can probably do it some type of strategic way. Like probably speak to like Toys R Us or some type of kid sponsor with homemade or handmade toys. Bring your daughter there for a Christmas special or Valentine's special and just have her play with it. It's all about the residuals and royalties. That's what I'm thinking about when it pertains to podcasting. Because a lot of people, when they think about doing technology, YouTube, and all these streaming services, they always think about money right now. And it's not about money right now. It's money for the future. Mm-hmm. And this is why you'll see people come in and out of YouTube or in and out of podcasting. They say that average after the 7th podcast episode, people tend to fade out. Yeah. Because they usually expect sponsorships. And it's like, no, it doesn't work like that.
And then I can speak to that personally or whatever. The show that we're on right now has been going consecutively for over 200 episodes. Next month, it'll be 4 years total. But, starting side projects and everything, I fell into that to where, like, me and my wife had our own podcast. That went to 6 episodes, and then it was done. Then I had a homeboy that I put on my website so I can host him for free because he was interested in doing a podcast. And I'm all about the help and everything. So I set him up, get his stuff on all the platforms and everything. He did like 3 episodes and he dropped out. Then I got the wrestling podcast that I do, which, I said that on Front Street. I was like, hey, man, this ain't going to be every week. It's not going to be consistent. It's just whenever I have the urge to talk about professional wrestling, that's when I'm gonna record an episode or whatever. So I mean, yeah, you take it for what it's worth. It'll be here when it be here and whatnot. So I understand it in all of the aspects or whatnot. But the numbers is like 700,000 different podcasts out there, and then there's only like 30% or less that are actually active and going consistently on a week to week or however basis. So it's fucking crazy.
Yeah, it is. But I think, and I know I'm going to, I don't know why I'm sounding like Don Corleone, but I find as Black people, and yes, we're going to have that moment.
Oh, yeah.
We need to start freaking working on podcasts, because I know a lot of podcasters who don't look like me or who are not articulate as you, who are making money.
Or
Talking about wine, talking about intimacy. Sometimes they just have a microphone and they're talking for 3 hours and they're being sponsored by vodka in these places. And I find that with us, we're not taught about longevity when it pertains to jobs. We're just talk about get money rich. And this is why we end up being the person where it's like we always have to work a 9 to 5. Pertaining to what's his name, Nick and Fritz. They're interviewing Kelly Rowland. They're doing these commercials because they were consistent.
Yeah.
And they have a show on Adult Swim.
Yeah. Then they got those other dudes with I think with the Bodega Boys or whatever. They got the show on Showtime or whatever. Same thing. It's just motherfuckers cracking up and having a good old time, and now they on HBO, Showtime, or whatever the hell they on.
Right. What about the Joe Budden podcast? I know that a lot of people who traditionally listen to podcasts would not expect the Joe Budden podcast to work. But one thing that I definitely respect Joe Budden for, he bought a new demographic that would not listen to podcasts. Majority of his demographic are people from the hood.
Yeah.
And people who only listen to him.
Yeah.
And once I saw his stats, I was like, awesome, amazing.
Yeah, but at the same time, he got the leg up because he is Joe Budden, though. So I mean,
Pump it up. No, I think is his ignorance and the fact that he doesn't care makes it nice. But I felt like due to the fact that he milked off his image off of hip hop.
Yeah.
And he's not so relevant to the point that if he says something, he gets a cease and desist. So he's like in that middle. And I felt like due to the fact he milked that worked out well.
Yeah. And I don't know, man. See, speak of the devil. You see that? You see the door?
Hey, where's my hugs? Give me a hug.
All right.
Precious.
Yeah. See, it was a rule once before to where, like, if the door is closed, I'm recording, so don't come in here. And then I'll just like, fuck it, you know.
Right. Because you can't get those moments back. My mom used to be like that. And it would be so funny because once she tried to implement that rule, I would always like wait like outside her room, just knocking on the door like, hello? And she'd just be like, what do you want? And I'm like, hi. Who you talking to? What movie you're watching? Like, I don't know. It's something with like children, even as adults. Like you just want to see your parents breathing and you just be like, yep. Okay, I'll see you later.
Especially that one. And then you get to know your kids over time, whatever, because like she is very she has a routine. So I come home and you know she get it from my mom, which I can appreciate. But every time I come home, I walk through the door, she be like, hi Dad. It's like, how was your day? I was like, it was good. She's like, how was your lunch? It was good. Did anything unexpected happen? No, not really. She's like, okay. And then she'll go back to doing what she was doing. But if she'll ask those 3 questions, and I go in because I come in, she'll be in the kitchen usually. She asks me those 3 questions, and she'll go back to a tablet or whatever she's doing. But if she follow me in the room after she asks me those questions, I know something up. She either wants something, or she daggone, I don't know, something out of the norm has happened. So either she wants something like some snacky cakes or some shit like that, or damn, just something different happened and she's got to tell me about it. So I always know something up.
Right. Oh gosh. Mm-mm-mm. I might want kids, but I don't know. The way my finances are set up, I'm too cheap to have children.
Yeah, I mean, you're not perfect, but you're just broke right now.
Exactly. And that's one thing that I love because I was a little bit concerned about the name, but people use it as puns, and I'm just like, you know what? There you go. But next year, definitely trademarking it.
Word.
Because I had one situation like on Twitter where I said something and the famous person literally used the pun, like, "Oh, not perfect, just broken." I was like, wait. Let me get my coin. Because that's how Kylie trademarked Rise and Shine, just using typical things and then trademarking it so then no one can use it at all. So I'm thinking definitely in the business sense. So I'm not like one of those people where if it grows and someone sees that it's not trademarked, they'll take it. Because I think a few companies that's happened to them. And you know Beyonce's dealing with that Blue Ivy situation.
Yeah. See, shit, I'm trying to trademark motherfucker, so I say it enough, so why not?
With like the typical spelling?
No, it's 3 X's in there. So it's MOTHERFXXXER.
Wow. Yeah, I don't think anyone has that. And are you planning to sell like apparel, mugs?
I'm already doing it.
Yes.
Yeah, but the thing is, people got to buy it. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's also the hardest part. It's like when you do like investments or you just have plans and it's just like, okay, people, buy it.
Yeah. And that's the thing too. It kind of I hesitated on a little bit or whatever. I mean, I'll be frank with you because I mean I'm open with everybody, but it was never an instance to where I would ever bring it up. My podcast falls under a LLC. I opened a business for this thing, so the name of my company is Random Works LLC. So I did that back in April because I was starting to go to conventions and buy plane tickets to go, in representing the show. So I was like, something got to give, man. I got to get some money back from this shit. So I opened up the LLC, and then I got a DBA for the Random Rounds with Rob. So all this shit is business. Anytime I get gas for this motherfucker, I go to a convention. I save all my receipts. I got the Intuit freaking self-employment app. It tracks all my gas mileage. It tracks all my receipts, all that shit. So end of the year, I'm like, this is the blood I gave for the. Can I get a little help? Can I get a little something back, please? And then like all the merchandise I get, I'm not doing it hand to hand. I'm doing it third party. So like I come up with the designs and then I give it to the third party. They make the shit and ship it. So that's how I'm doing that right now. But like I have the means to where I can do stuff on a basic level. So like if I can do one color design shirts, I can do those myself and I can ship it hand to hand and that'd be all profit for me. But like the higher end items like the hats and like the little notebooks and all the kind of other crazy shit that I got on my website, I had to go through third party for that right now until people start buying the shit. Then I can buy my own equipment and I do the shit myself.
Right. No, that's a good idea. With me, I'm just going to start out with mugs because due to the fact that, I have like men and women,
Yes.
I'm just like, everybody needs a cup and for work, but I'm just going to have funny ass puns in there. It's going to be hilarious. Like, for example, like loading ...
Mm-hmm.
Or is it rum or coffee with a big question mark? So, it's like playful things. You better not steal it.
I don't know what you're talking. I am not right.
I'm lucky I only gave you 2. But yeah, I think that's great because the thing is, I don't want to be that person that sells merchandise to people where it's like, yay.
Mm-hmm.
I want people to be like, oh, I got it from Not Perfect Just Broke, but it doesn't say it.
Yeah.
But I like it. Because then that's when you can like get different people for like holidays and Valentine's. So that's something that I'm considering during the holidays. And you also can give it to kids.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I get what you're saying. It has to have like a universal appeal or whatever. Because like I have shirts with the show logo on it, but like everybody will wear that because not everybody know what that is or whatever.
Exactly.
So try to make things that would kind of translate over. Like I think the one that I've sold the most of is the shirt that just says random across the chest, but it's
Right.
but it's done in the font of a video game, Doom. So it's looks just like that, and it's universal. Anybody can be random. Love is random. All that stuff. There it is. Boom.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm planning to do with shirts. And I'm not even going to be like, oh, it's going to be max. I may just purchase a few, or what I'm going to do is just survey it. Because one thing that I find that's very important in having a podcast is being very interactive.
Yeah.
So sometimes I'll just do my live and just be like, okay, what do you guys want?
Mm-hmm.
And it'll tell me exactly what they want. And then those are like the loyal fans who are there regardless what I say. So I definitely take their opinion. But yeah, that would be really good. But I'm definitely going to start very small. But before all that, I need my Kickstarter in January.
Yeah.
Because I'm not trying to go to a deficit.
Like
I spent like $31.99 plus $10 on Adobe Effects because I didn't want to spend $175 for someone to do my graphics. Literally under 4 hours, I learned how to make a coin 3D. Composition, rendering, and spin. Because I didn't want to spend all that damn money.
And you know, it's hard sometimes because I know exactly where you come from. I love Photoshop. I love that program. I mean, these computers that I have now don't allow me to do it because of the hardware in them. But like, I get my tablet and I'm sitting there, I'm doodling, I'm sketching or whatever, and it's just like it's nothing like that feeling of like I did this shit myself. You know?
Right. And I find that there are a lot of people, especially small business owners, who take advantage of you not knowing something. So like the way he made it seem as if it was complicated. He was like $25 an hour, or you're going to have to pay for me to get a license. And I literally paid for me to have my license. And even though it was very tedious, I literally watched a YouTube and went back and forth and made it spin. And I was just like, if I learned this under 4 hours, you probably would have done this under 2 seconds. But he kept on saying $25 an hour. So I was just like, this would probably be like over $300 by the time you're done. Yeah, so I'm definitely, I hate to be like, I'll do it myself type of person. But like I said, there are people who will milk you because they know that you're desperate for the graphics or desperate for a project in general.
Yeah, and I'm kind of hesitant when it comes to stuff like that too, because I have a limited base as far as, you know, drawing and stuff like that. But it's just like, I don't want to get murdered, just like how you said. I don't want the motherfucker to just jab me in my hip, be like, oh, give me all your money, baby.
Exactly. And it's funny because it's like, there would be like, explain what you want. I would have a circle and I'll put another circle and I'm like, okay, so that's that penny spinning around. Visualize it. So I'd be like, it's supposed to be spinning, and then bam, the logo 3D. So it has to look like the 22nd. What's the 22nd? No, the 20th Century Fox, where it's like dun, 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 dun. So that's how I'm giving it to them, and I'm just like, you should understand that.
Yeah, motherfucker.
And you know what they would do? They would just like sketch it. And they would like put like black shadows in back of it. And they're like, okay, so you're going to have to pay me half. And I was like, oh, say no more, fam. I'm good. And they're like, are you serious? And I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good.
Yeah.
But see, they will milk it because when you're so desperate for it, you're just like, okay, how much? But you know, unfortunately, I'm very analytical. So I'm that type of person where it's like, even when I think I'm not going to get it, I'm going to get it. Because I like pressure myself, super nerdy. So I'll be like, okay.
Yeah. And then, I mean, with YouTube and everything, I mean, you can get a damn degree on there if you want to.
Exactly. And shout outs to the people that have the Adobe Effects tutorial. Because after I was trying to wing it myself, I was about to ask Adobe to like have like some type of sympathy policy where they can just return the money to me so we act like nothing happened. Because I was like, if I couldn't do that, then I'm not going to do like an electric car commercial. I just need it for the logo. But luckily, you know, there was like that one person that knew that I was going to be a slow, retarded consumer. So they were just like, press this button. And I was just like, okay, we good.
I got it. I've been there. I can remember like not even finding a good tutorial like that, but it was just like, all right, you do this step and I will pause it. All right, I would do it. Yeah, press play. All right, then I would do it. Pause it. Then I'll do
And thinking about it now, that's a great business. Like, I mean, I heard like YouTube now is not as monetized as it was before, but I feel like that would be an amazing business. Like doing tutorials and then probably doing a Patreon for like personalized ones. I think that would be great.
And then like I watch some of them or whatever, and they piss me off sometimes because I'm be like, get to what the fuck I came here for. God damn it. I was like, I don't give a damn what kind of knife you're using to open the box and slide open the material and place it on the other side or whatever and line it up.
Oh my God.
A 30 fucking minute video on your OCD, goddamn it. Just show me how to do the shit I came here for.
You sound like me. Once I hear toot music, I'll be like, mute. I don't need to hear it. Just follow the mouse. And then once they start doing like that weird thing where it's like they want to make it glamour and exaggerated with transitions and stuff, I fast forwarded, but I get real irritated. I'm like, this is a tutorial. Don't make it look pretty. Just get straight up.
And then another thing that pissed me off, I mean, it's all a YouTube formula or whatever. It'd be like, motherfucker pop up as soon as you press play, be like, hey guys, I'm going to show you how to do such and such and everything. But first, and then they transition, they logo, they penny spin around, and then the video start. And I was like,
was that shade?
I don't know what you're talking
because
about.
that's exactly how my video is going to start. Y'all going to see a fucking penny spinning. After all that work, you may see the penny spinning like in a few days right now. I'm going to be like, hey guys, penny spinning right now.
It'd just be like snapshots. It'd be like, here, turn it, snap, turn it, snap.
I literally posted it on my Twitter. I don't know if you saw it.
I think
Of the penny spinning, and I'm just like, yes.
Yeah, man. You can't be
all about marketing, man. Even though it may irritate people be like, oh, that's the girl with the penny spinning.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I mean, that's your thing. It's just like either they catch your eye for, because it's atrocious or it's because it's badass. It's either or. Either way, they're going to talk about it.
Exactly. Even that freaking Cards for Kids thing.
The what?
1877 Cards for Kids. You see that? I know it because I used to freaking play it every day, even though I don't even want to give no cards to no kids. You see how much money? You're literally thinking it in your mind, and especially Sleepies. That's the first brand for beds because they used to have like that annoying 1-800-883. Yeah. So I may just have to have like an infomercial where it's just like, I need to listen to a podcast and I can't get up, and just have like a life alert with like my microphone.
Do you notice those trends though? Do you think people trying to get something from that? Just I've noticed. I try to find all these things, and I like to point them out. Like the thing on Twitter to where it's like, hey, I'm on a long car ride. Anybody got any podcast recommendations? Hey, today's Tuesday. Anybody got any podcast recommendations? And I'm just like, okay. I mean,
I honestly think that's fake because the first time I saw it, I was like, oh, it's nice. But I took the time to go to the Twitter search and just put podcast recommendations, and it would just be rows of different people just saying that phrase.
And it's just like,
yeah,
to get the interactions, the likes, the retweets, and everything like that. Because why? Because if you, from me to you, it was like, all right, I'll recommend your podcast to somebody because I know who you are, and yada yada yada, like that. That's how it usually works. But for me to get on Twitter, knowing that I can just pick up my goddamn phone, type in what I like, and it will show me all the things that I like, within the podcasting realm. What is the need for that? And my only thing is thinking is like, you're going to have podcasts of some of them hungry motherfuckers that'll be like, here, try my podcast. Here, try my podcast. And they're going to like your tweet, and they're going to retweet your tweet. And then that's going to get you all kind of, your analytics that you were speaking about. Hey, look, I got this many engagements on this one tweet. I got this and this from this one tweet. I got this much impressions and all kind of shit like that. So that's like, to me, I see that shit and I'm just like, all right, this is the new scam. This is the new thing.
Yes, and you can definitely add with people taking your podcast and they like take a list of podcasts that they know, and they tag everyone in it. So like when you see your name, you want to say thank you. You like it, you're increasing their impressions. Now you feel bad, so you want to say thank you. Now you're saying thank you to everyone that's there. So then that's when the back and forth. I actually see one podcaster who does it, and it was nice at first, but now it's like annoying because it's like 14, 15 people saying like thank you, LOL, GIFs, and it's just like, it seems like you're benefiting it, but I get the business aspect of it because I see that there are podcast streaming services doing it. And I definitely directly asked them because I was like, every day you guys have a contest. I was speaking to Castbox. And then for anyone that saw me on Castbox, they didn't even answer my question. They just didn't say anything, but people caught it. I was just like, what's the benefit of you doing these contests, adding people and telling people like, go listen to this? And they're like, no, we're just a podcast service. And I was like, you bullshitting me. I get paid somehow. Because the thing is, now we're starting to get different podcast sites, Podchaser, Oracle, iHeartRadio, Listen Notes, and they're automatically loading our podcast without our consent. So I'm like, one, how is that legal? And then two, you guys are benefiting from it.
Yeah.
I
don't know, because I mean, it's a gray area for us, because I mean, it's a free thing that anybody can do, and it's just like they provide a service that we kind of need, because like a lot of those places, like how you said, because Podbean is the service that I use. Before I even went to Podbean, they already had my show on there, so I had to go in there and I claimed my shit. I was like, hey, this is my shit, motherfucker, you know?
Right.
But I like their service, so I wind up, ultimately going with them. But it's every time I see my shit come up somewhere else, I go there, I make an account, and I claim my shit. I was like, hey, this is mine, and I get all the stuff from it that I can get from it, and I'm just like, but yeah, this is weird.
Yeah.
Because everybody listens at somewhere different. Not everybody use Apple Podcasts, not everybody use Google Play, and that's the thing for me, that if I'm not on something that doesn't automatically suck my podcast in, I'm actively seeking it so I can put my shit on there so they can have, any ears is good ears for me, Right.
And hopefully it can include the analytics. That was my one concern, because I was just like, you guys have everything, one listener, but I'm with Buzzsprout, and I don't know. I may have to speak to them. Because people tell me like, girl, I listened to your podcast 5 times, and I'll look at my analytics. It'll say like once since last year. And I'm like, you playing games with me. You playing games with my $12.99. I better see the analytics. I better even see when someone clicks on the podcast and they listen to the intro and they leave.
And that's a hard thing. I have yet to find I've only been through 3 during the life of the podcast, but I've yet to find anything that gives you all that. Podbean, in a sense, say they do it, but it's very limited in what they can give, because like they push your shit out to Spotify, and they'll give you some of the analytics for Spotify, but I do not think any of that shit is accurate. And then you can put yourself manually into Spotify, but I don't think, because I don't really play with it all that much, but I don't think within Spotify there's any place to where it gives you those analytics. So
you actually do.
Oh, you do?
Yes, I was surprised because on September I didn't see anything, but I don't know if it was because of promo or there's a certain duration. But in November, the week on December when they were doing that, what is that, the Wave or the Wrapped? Spotify, when they were showing all those advertisements, as soon as you clicked on it, you saw the analytics of how many listeners you have, how many people clicked, and what devices they listened to. Same thing for iTunes. It took me 4 months. And they showed me my analytics.
Yeah. Motherfucking iTunes.
Oh, that rap thing that Spotify did was so cute.
Yeah, I'm about to look at mine right now. I ain't never. Okay, where's the shit at? I don't see nothing.
So if you go to Spotify for podcasters, you should be already logged in.
Yeah, I'm already in here, so.
And then you click on the name, and then it's going to show you like RSS feed, and it should give you show analytics.
So this is our YouTube tutorial right now, right?
Yes.
So this is me. I press a thing. I don't see shit.
You don't see a list like RSS feed, refresh, delete, analytics?
No.
Okay, so I may just have to send it to you.
The bootleg version of Spotify. That's probably what it is.
Maybe because I don't know. I separately had to sign on to like each because I didn't know that there was like shared websites such as like Buzzsprouts and Host. I only thought SoundCloud was a host.
Yeah. And that's probably what it is too, because I'm looking like the app in my phone. I ain't even going to the website or whatever. Because all I did was when I put it on Spotify, I made my account, I put my RSS in there, and then I just left it alone. I was like, the motherfuckers in the world, they can find it if they need to.
Okay, so if you go to podcasters.spotify.com, and if you're already logged in, just click on catalog to your left.
Okay.
And they're going to show you the starts, and you just click on it, and it's going to show you all the analytics.
Yeah, I'll fuck with that later. We doing a podcast right now.
That is true, but you know what? There might be other podcasters that are listening. They're just like, oh, for real?
So you want to give them the step-by-step real quick? Go ahead and hey, guys.
That was it. For the full directions, you guys have to just freaking follow me.
There you go. Scam, we got you, motherfucker.
I'm that pyramid scheme.
Yeah. So I mean, you just starting out. You got your ideas out there and everything. I mean, what's the goal next? I mean, you already did the biggest thing. That's starting the podcast. So I mean, what's one of your next obtainable goals, you think?
Well, I can say start off season 2. This summer, I've just been really focused on increasing the interactions, the viewership. Now, one thing that's very achievable for next year's goal is doing some collaborations and making my podcast a little bit more serious.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping that next year I can collaborate with the CEO of a startup company.
Yeah.
Because I think it's like very important as a millennial that we're starting to see a huge increase with millennials leaving their company to start out businesses.
Yeah.
So that's something that I want to do. And I want to talk about things like Black privilege, white privilege, generational curses. You know, it's going to get serious sometimes, but of course I'm going to make it funny. But I feel like we're considered the ignorant / entitled generation. You know, we're very existentialist.
Yeah.
You know, when people think about the millennials, it's like, so what are they going to talk about? Social media? And I feel like we're more than that, but I think that we're afraid to observe certain things. So I look forward to doing that, expanding people's minds.
Word, expand.
Yes. And I'm almost finished doing my script for 2 episodes, so I'm so excited.
So you actually have like a layout deal, right?
Yes, I definitely do prefer a layout because I'm that type of person where I listen to podcasts and I'm like, okay, get to the point.
Mm-hmm.
You know, don't tell me you're going to talk about rice and then the first 40 minutes you're talking about the pot. Talk about the rice.
Damn, I mean, I don't know if you're going to listen back to this. It's all over the place, right?
Like, I'll be like, okay, small talk. 40 minutes? Okay, I got to go. You playing with me.
Well, I mean, that's what I was saying. You probably won't go back and listen to this then, because that's all we've been doing.
Yeah, I'll definitely listen to it because I'm here, and I'll probably listen to more.
Oh, still my beating heart.
Yeah, especially if you do video. I love video podcasts because it's so funny when you can see people's interaction.
Yeah, I'm working on that in the future. Matter of fact, it's like about all these fly-ass fancy cameras and everything that I got sitting all over the place. It's just like I get this motherfucking 11 Pro, and I'm just like, why the fuck I'm carrying this big motherfucker around? I just got this bitch right here. So I'm more of using this as opposed to that. Like if I'm going to take like some pictures, I'll use these cameras right here. But like if I'm doing video with this freaking 4K 60 frames per second, 180 freaking frames per second slow mo and all this other crap, I'm using the phone.
You better use it because I saw the preview for iPhone 12. So as soon as that software update start, shit gonna get fucked up again.
Mm-mm.
Like, it was so funny because someone had a meme and they were like, they showed the preview and they were like, oh shit. And I was like, yep.
Mm-mm.
iPhone is the scammer, yo.
Hey, I mean, you know what? I mean, this is the only phone that I've had since what? I think the first one I had was
9 months ago?
no 4S. Like when I've been with Apple since the 4S, and I get every 2 models, so I don't get every year. I get every 2. So I went from the 4 to the 6 to the 8, and now I got the 11.
Well, you still got money regardless because you always have to pay for that Apple protection plan.
But that shit came in handy though,
because the phone is made to be broken. That's why.
No, it's not nothing like that.
Yo, it is like an Xbox.
It was my doing.
I never had to like call PlayStation and was like, fix it. You know what? I don't know if you saw this. My Game Boy baby.
Mm-hmm.
Since 1998, I still have the Game Boy.
Yeah.
And when people look at it, it's just like, you never had to fix it? No, since 1998 with the same batteries.
Word.
I still use that trick of like freezing the batteries because I feel like if I use anything recent, I feel like it's going to corrupt the beauty of it.
You got the old Duracell joints that had the little strip on the side. You had to press the top and the bottom and the little.
No. I had to throw them out. That was like early 2000. I think they stopped after that. Because remember there was one where you had to press hard?
Or hell yeah.
Yeah, now I think those joints are illegal. Because you know what? Back in the day, those batteries used to burst. Mm-hmm. I used to remember some of them used to being broken and like inked up.
Yeah, I can just remember, damn, this motherfucker must be dead because I'm pressing hard in the motherfucker. And that little bar ain't moving for shit.
I was like such a young girl, but man, when it pertained to technology, when we were young, we were innovative. I just literally took like a piece of foil, just being real young and 6, wrapping it, putting it next to the ice, blowing the cartridge.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when people tell me like, oh, Apple's innovative, I'm like, no, Nintendo's innovative. If Nintendo gets a phone, fuck everything. That's why they're lucky that they removed that Hawaii thing. Because I was planning to get that Hawaii phone.
Yeah.
Because I heard like the specs were amazing.
Yeah, then that company did some fly shit, right?
No, they just they barred it. Google no longer runs their service through Hawaii due to the fact of the ban.
Okay.
But you're still able to purchase it. But the thing is, if you don't have Google, you're not able to do software updates. So when I saw that, I was like, no, that's a domino effect. But every time someone like videotape it, it was just like amazing. And they're cheap, but they're like really good.
See, and that's the thing, because like when you got that Game Boy when it originally came out, it was made to last. And then, you know, people got hip to the game because it was just like you talked about Adobe After Effects and all that shit. I can remember a time to where all you had to pay was like, what, $300, and that shit was yours for life.
Exactly.
Updates included and everything. But now it's just this subscription shit. You got to pay every month and by the year and all kind of crap like that.
And I hate that because it kind of makes you like itch when it's 2 weeks that passes by because you just be like, okay, I got 2 more weeks, so I'm going to cancel it.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you forget it, you know, that was the same thing with my Amazon Prime. You know how sometimes you click, so you get the cheap one and then you forget and then you see that charge and you just be like, I didn't mean that. Give me my $14 back. I just wanted to order the phone and leave.
Yeah, man, you got to be careful with some of this stuff, especially when it comes to these apps. I seen some crazy shit. And then I'm glad I did this with my young one. I just had to sit down with the teenagers. I was like, hey, if this shit don't say free, don't get that shit. I mean, if it say pay a fee or a subscription, fuck that shit. You don't need it. If it say free, okay. If you're talking about, you know, anything subscription based, leave that shit alone.
Exactly.
Kid downloaded the app, the baby, and this was before I put the restrictions on the phone to where anytime she download the app, it send me a message, be like, hey, do you want her to download this shit? And I'm like, all right, it's cool. or whatever. But I was looking at one of them. I forgot what it was, but it was like, okay, you have to sign in, and then after 3 days, you have to pay $6.99 a week. I was like, what? $6.99 a week?
Wow.
So
what kind of game was that? Was that Candy Crush? I heard Candy Crush was making a lot of money. Oh my gosh.
I don't know what the hell it was. I as soon as I seen that shit, I was like, okay, let's put these restrictions on this phone real quick.
That is scary.
Yeah, because that shit is hooked to my account. So damn, soon as I've been $6.99 a week, $6.99. What the hell is this $6.99? I've been calling my bank. What the fuck is this $6.99?
Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, that's freaking crazy.
They had one. It was $36 every 2 weeks for something. It was just like, it's based on that premise of what you was talking about. People be like, hey, here's a free trial, and if you don't freaking cancel this shit within 24 hours of the expiration, you automatically get hit, and it's gonna just keep getting. Because I mean, I know I'm guilty of it, but what I do now, if I sign up for any trial, 2 days before the expiration date, I put the calendar date in my phone. I put an alarm for 2 days before that, and I put another one an hour before that. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna cancel this shit.
No, that's very smart. Me, I got too bold. You know, the first 3 times I did it, I got too comfortable. Mm-hmm. And then literally 2 months after, I was like, what's this? And they were like, happy 3rd month. And I was like, no. They probably were happy. They were just like.
And that's the thing. I had a couple of apps for like, I had an app for Instagram. It helped me out very much because I had 3 different Instagram accounts. I had the one for when me and my wife had a show. Then I had one for the wrestling show. Then I got the one for this show here. And I could craft all my pictures throughout the day, you know, put them on the schedule, win the thing, and it would throw the hashtags in there automatically in the comments. It did
nice
for me. And all I had to do is press one button and just leave it alone. It'll do that throughout the whole day. Anytime I wanted, any picture I wanted, video, everything. It would even copy other videos from other people. Like you put up a cool video, I can click the link to your video, put it on my shit, and it would tag you on it and put you know how they put the little bar for the person originating the account. It did all that shit. I was like,
wow,
man, this is fly as fuck. But that 7 days came up.
It was too good to be true. It was.
I was like, yeah, man, this is great, but I'm gonna have to decline.
Oh my God, that is hilarious. Because I was just like for free.
Oh yeah, it was free for 7 days.
yeah, they were real smart. And once you got real comfortable with the scheduling, they probably sneaked that charge right in. And
then and there's a couple of them to where I got in on the ground floor, and I was like, it was a sleeper app. I was like, man, this is bomb. I mean, nobody know about this shit. And then after a while, I get used to it and get comfortable with it. And then it was Crowdfire, matter of fact.
Oh yeah, I've heard about that.
Had Crowdfire when it was like just starting, didn't have no fees and everything. I was just bam, retweeting, rescheduling all this shit. And then it was like, hey man, we hip to the game now, baby. We got this business model, so you can
burn
get down.
Their hands.
It's $9.99 a month, or you can go up to $16.99 or to $40 a year. I was like, fuck. And then you hear me playing taps. Delete. Goodbye.
Oh my gosh.
It's a dog world out there. I mean, everybody got to make their money somehow. I wish it wasn't at the expense of me, though.
No, I get it. I get it. Even though I used to be the person like, why? It's like, no, I understand it. Because I was joking with my small fans, and I was just like, you guys think I'm going to do this for free for long? And they were like, hell no. And I was like, okay. At least we're on the same page. Because like someone was just like, oh, what can I do to support? And I was like, you like is a commodity, but next year we're going to have to see $1.50 something. Because you guys can't expect me to ameliorate the podcast. And it's just like there are people where it's like, oh, you should host a party in New York City since all of us. With whose money, though?
Exactly. I mean,
are we going to do it in the backyard of my house? They're like, no, rooftop. Do you have New York City rooftop beer money?
And that's the thing, man. It's just like, yeah, I started a business for my podcast, but still, I need motherfucking income, you know?
Exactly. You need reoccurring income. And I think people don't understand that. It's not so much spending things once, it's always spending.
Yeah. Because, I mean, hosting fees, goddamn website maintenance.
Yes. And then editing things for Instagram. I have that app, Wave. I don't know if you heard about it. It's so good. You can just get like a video or a picture and just have like the waveform.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's like really nice.
So, yeah, I mean.
Then you got to get the SoundCloud Pro for me.
Mm-hmm.
Because the thing is, I was thinking about just switching to Buzzsprout. But then once I saw like how other podcasters still had their SoundCloud, I was just like, let me just keep it here.
Yeah. I started off with SoundCloud. It had some good times there. Reminisce the old episodes 1 through 30 I might have did through SoundCloud. Then I went to Zencast FM, stayed with them for a little while. And the only reason I stayed with that one for as long as I did, because it was an independent startup company. Dude was doing everything by himself. But like he was really charging like he was a motherfucker that was doing everything by himself. So I was like, hey man, price too high for me. I gotta go ahead and give it this cheap shit over here. I'm sorry.
Aww.
But I mean, he's built it up from the ground floor and it's pretty good now, and he has more reasonable pricing packages and whatnot. I entertained going back over there, but like I'm just like lazy comfortable where the fuck I'm at. So
exactly.
But you know, I'm always still looking though. If something better comes up, I'm down for it. But it's just, man, you get your RSS feed, and you got to change that to this shit. You got to refresh the shit on iTunes. Like, hey y'all, I got a new RSS feed. Make sure you resubscribe. And I don't want to go through all that.
Right.
That's how they get you. That's how they get that $7.99 out you every month.
I didn't know that you can lose followers by that. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because like, say I'm automatically subscribed to your shit. You change your RSS feed, it'll cancel that shit out. And I have to resubscribe to your shit. And some people it's just like, I have podcasts in here that I don't even listen to no more, but I'm still subscribed to just so they can get they do, you know, hey, I got one download here at least or whatever. But if they change their RSS feed, I probably wouldn't go back and resubscribe or nothing. It's just.
I changed my RSS. No, I redirected my RSS feed. Is there a difference?
Redirecting, I think is what redirecting. I'm trying to figure out how that shit goes, because like I did this 2 times already. So I started off with SoundCloud, and I opened up with Zencast FM. I migrated all the shit to Zencast FM. It kept everything on SoundCloud open until the full migration was completed. And then it started rerouting shit from here to here. So redirecting is just taking, hey, you was over here, now you over here. We'll start sending shit this way. But in the case to where you don't have that redirect anymore, because some people, when you switch from their service, they stop doing that redirect once all your stuff is migrated to where else. And they'll be like, hey, man, you got to refresh your RSS feed. Because that's what happened from Zencast to Podbean. He kept it open long enough for all my shit to migrate over there. But once that shit was done, he's like, all right, click. I had to reset my whole RSS feed and all that shit. I'd be like, hey, I'm still here. Just resubscribe, please.
Oh, I didn't know that. Thank you for telling me.
Yeah. But you know, if anybody's listening, if you want to prove me wrong because I'm wrong, please do so, because I don't want to put the wrong information out there.
Yes, please do, because like I'm about to have like an anxiety. Because when they told me redirecting, it was like, oh, you know, your analytics is going to be in one place and stuff. So I was just like, okay, that would be easier. Ever since I redirected it, everything's still the same. Yeah,
so you good to go. What I didn't like about redirecting and changing all the different services is like the analytics that I had when I was with SoundCloud, all that shit is gone. So I don't have access to that no more. I still have an account, but since I don't have their service, I can't see none of that old shit anymore. That shit's gone. And then when you go to Zencast or whatever the fuck I was there, all that shit is gone, you know, so it is what it is. But I mean,
it is what it is. And hopefully someone can figure that out, because my thing is that we need past. We just can't literally just sign on into your service and then that very day you start copying analytics. There should be like some form of history. If we're able to see it within the other website, you guys should be able to transfer that through.
Because like my third place is where I'm at now, Podbean, and I can't go back to from wherever I started from, like the very beginning in 2016. It's just wherever I jumped on Podbean at, that's where they got all the way up until now.
That is so annoying. And here I am with my little 9 listens. But then when I saw my lifetime on SoundCloud, I was like, oh my God, 355. And then like all together with all the streaming services, 7,000. But I'm like, you would tell me I have to take pictures of all these analytics?
Exactly. That's what I had
No.
to do. And then I lost then like the computer, all that shit that I saved on there, that shit crashed. So I don't know what my analytics was. It's all gone.
Right. So now you're trying to tell people?
Yeah. I'm just like, fuck. Nah, I mean, I'm just old salty bastard now as far as podcasts go. I'm just like, fuck it. I mean, I do it because I like it at this point. I mean, if some money come my way, I will gladly accept it, but, I just really enjoy doing this shit.
Well, who's the sponsor today?
Oh, today we have, and for always, Hooks, Rubs, and Spices. If you go to hooksrubsandspices.etsy.com, you can get 15% off your order if you use the promo code RANDOM. You get like my professional.
Ooh, sounds good. So like, is it like spice, like you using your food?
Yeah, spice rub. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You can use that spice rub. You can put it on your everything. You can put it on your meats, your vegetables. I put mine in spaghetti. I put it on salad the other day. What else? I had a microwave pizza and I put that bitch on there. Boom. Spices on there.
What? So is it like Frank's hot sauce? You put that shit on everything?
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not going to lie to you. I mean, it's in my cabinet in my house. And when I cook, I put all that shit in.
Excuse me.
Put the Cajun red in that motherfucker. Some smoky sweetness. Some mad cow whenever I'm doing the burgers.
Oh, you know how to cook. My God.
I can burn some things. Yes, I can. I can apply flame to meat and make it not raw.
Are you like that type of husband where you have to just season the food and then your wife cooks it?
No. I mean, I was a single man for a long time before I met Mrs. B-Rob. So I did had to forage for myself. I had to go out in the wild and find the meats and bring it home and figure the shit out. So I learned. Yes, I said it. Learned how to do it. But pretty much kind of watching her, I kind of pick up some shit and be like, all right, she did the thing like this with the seasoning, so I got to do it like that too.
That's good.
Yeah, but like the other day, man, social media is fucking crazy. We keep going back to this. I just got on TikTok, just learning what the fuck that is, and they got a motherfucker on there showing you how to cook some shit, and I'd be damned if I didn't carry my ass in the kitchen off a 60-second video and cook up the same shit with some Hooks, Rubs, and Spices on that motherfucker. This dude he made a steak he made a steak and he was showing how he marinated and all that shit. Man, I was in the kitchen. You remember I was telling you earlier, be like, all right, pause. All right, now I'm gonna do the same thing. All right. Yes. All right, pause. All right, now I'm gonna do the shit. Press play. So I did that shit. I made lunch for my wife the other day. Made a nice thick steak with some broccoli and shit. So yeah, I can cook when it's called for. But if she gave me the option, like, you want me to cook something? You fucking right. I want you to cook something. I don't want to do that.
That's funny. No, that's really good.
Yeah. And also, who else we got sponsoring some shit? Blue Chew, for those out there who need it. You go to bluechew.com. You get your first order free. But there's a catch. You got to pay $5 shipping. But, I mean, the product is free. You just have to pay for the shipping, Use that promo code RANDOM when you check out. You know what Blue Chew is?
No, but it sounds tasty. Chewy and blue.
Well, it is chewy. It is blue, but I don't think it's for you.
It's dog food.
No. It's not. Well, I don't know. I mean, we got so much innuendo in this conversation right now. But it's on the level of Cialis and Viagra. So that's what Blue Chew is. It's just in a chewable form. You just chew that up.
Oh my God.
You hit you with the pie-yow.
Here am I thinking like it's some delicious thing like Starburst or something like that.
You get some Starburst out of that later on after you take the Blue Chew. But I mean, I'm just saying, I don't know. But
There are things that don't need to be created for it to be chewable.
I don't know. I mean,
Oh, maybe because it's faster. That's why it's chewable.
exactly. It's up to 2 times faster. Booyah. See, I mean, you trying to get it in. You trying to get it in. You got to get that 2 times. You hit the fast forward button real quick.
Yeah. It took me a while, but I was just like, okay, maybe in a situation where it's supposed to be happening now, you can't wait for the Viagra to set in. So you're just like,
But
you're like, hold on, baby. Wait until I finish chewing.
oh, hold on. Shit. Okay. What I found out in my research, the difference between Viagra and Cialis. I mean, they basically do the same thing, but with Viagra, is within the window is I think 30 minutes or less before intercourse that you take it, and you got a 30-minute window for it to take effect, and that's within the effects last for about an hour and a half, 3 hours. But with Cialis, it's more of a time release thing, so I can wake up in the morning and take that shit, and I'll be good for at least 24 hours. I ain't talking about walking around with a hard on and shit.
Right, that's what I'm thinking. Like, it's dangerous. Can't you get a heart attack from that?
I don't know.
Or like a stroke? There was something that was very funny where someone died off of taking like too many Viagras. Or they took something, they had a bad reaction.
Yeah, I mean, and that's with anything though, because I mean, let's talk about those other things though. Like you get those commercials like, I got an itchy butthole. Here's banana cream pills. You take these banana cream pills, and then you get to the end of the commercial, they'd be like, side effects may cause anal bleeding, this and this, this and that, this and this, and this and that, and be like, why the hell I want to take this? It's going to give me all this extra stuff. But what they're not saying in the commercial is it only happens in a certain percentage of people who take this medication.
But they have to say that so they're not sued.
Exactly, but they have to say all the side effects by law. It's so
Right.
people automatically thinking they're like, oh man, I'm gonna take this thing from my itchy butthole and I'm gonna start pissing out blood and shit for whatever reason. I just want my asshole to stop itching.
Ew, I don't know why this is making me think about Blue Street when like that detective went to that little room with the ointment and Martin was just looking at it and then he wanted to shake his hand and Martin was just like and Martin's like, what happened? He's like
Yeah, but to go back to answer your previous question, you're not walking around with a boner 24 hours.
it's chewables.
It's just like you take it, and then when you get the urge, that's when it's hiya. I'm ready
I wonder what happens when women take it.
I don't know. If you use
My curiosity. I want a woman.
YouTube.com and use promo code random, you can find out.
Anyone that's listening, use it and then like comment on Not Perfect Just Broke. Like what happened? Like did your G spot like explode? Like I'm curious.
I'm curious too. Because they said they was gonna send me a free order if I wanted some, and I'm just like, hey baby, you want some gummy bears? Chew on this real quick.
Hey, no, that's amazing.
I know it is.
BlueChew.com.
I said, if you order this off of this episode here with the the freaking Just Broke podcast, I forgot the first part. I'm tripping.
No, it's fine. Not Perfect Just Broke.
So if you heard this episode and you order with my promo code, whatever funds I get from that order going to her. So I mean, there you go, because she put this over the top for me.
Yeah, Blue Chew. It sounds tasty though. That's funny. Like, imagine if I didn't ask you like what it was, and I just Googled like, "What's Blue Chew?" Let me guess.
I almost let you go down that rabbit hole too, but
Yeah,
I'm not that.
I was just like, yummy.
What else we got going on? I think one more we got Pod Dixs. You ever heard of that?
No.
Well, it's a startup company, and it helps podcasters like you and me create more meaningful conversations for their podcast. It's just pretty much a deck of cards or whatever.
Oh, pod deck.
Oh, you thought I was
That's
talking
why
about
I was like, what is this? Is this your show?
Yeah, so you thought I was still talking about some Blue Chew stuff, huh?
Yeah, I was just like, wait, did you just get a sponsor from like all of them at the same time?
See, and I said this on the last couple episodes when I was introducing that sponsor. I'm saying Dex, not Dix. Dex. It's my accent, I guess. I don't know. I can't.
I think so, yeah. Because when you say it, it sounds like Dixs, like Winn-Dixie.
Ah, okay. Winn-Dixie. I ain't been to a Winn-Dixie in many moons.
I've never been to Winn-Dixie. I just only saw it in television.
Hmm.
Same thing with Publix. I need to go there. Never been there.
I've been, but I don't remember it as much. I think I just went in there to use the bathroom and I left.
They let you use the bathroom there?
I mean, it's Publix.
Well, the thing in New York City, you can't use the bathroom unless you purchase something.
That's why people piss on the street.
Exactly, and that's disgusting.
Yeah, I've been to New York once, and I smelled all the urine all up in my mouth.
It was funny because like whenever I went to like a different place, especially Arizona, I was like, "Ooh, y'all win the season? Oh, smell good here."
Yeah, sprinkle some hook shows and spices up in here.
Yeah, I'm like, it smells so clear. Like New York smell is horrible.
I know it's kind of like that when I went to Florida. It was just like it's just a different. I was like, the first time I went to Florida as an adult, me and my wife went down there, and we went down there. We were just in like the sun and everything. I was like, man, we could live here, bro. And then storms and tornadoes and all kinds.
Yes.
Like, nah, fuck that.
Yeah, Florida weather definitely hits different. I remember being there very young and just remembering how they had a rainstorm that was less than 5 minutes, but as soon as it started, palm trees fell. It was emergency lockdown. People's sheds were moving, and then after 5 minutes, everyone walked like nothing happened. And my mom was like, "Oh no, we're not going out."
I can't do
That's crazy. Like their storms, equivalent to New York, it's nothing.
Man, in Houston here is bipolar too. It's just like today I got up. It was 76 degrees. By lunch, it was raining, and then the temperature dropped down to 45. And then now I think it's 48 now. So yeah, it was just a whole range of different emotions here. And then what killed me here, motherfucker, it'll rain while the sun is out. It's just like, haha, motherfucker. Yeah, I'm gonna rain you shit. The sun just staring at you, full of just wet.
That's crazy.
But I think I ran out of sponsors and everything. So I think this is where we're gonna kind of wind it down at. So I mean, let everybody know where they can find you on all the social medias that you have.
You can find me on Instagram, Not Perfect Just Broke. Twitter, Not Perfect Just Broke.
You can find me in Podchaser, Castbox FM, Apple,
And just all the streaming service. I already checked. Or you can just Google my name, Not Perfect Just Broke, and you'll find me. I'm everywhere.
I'm like a cockroach from prehistoric time. I'm everywhere.
What? You just scampering across the floor, picking up all the hooks, rubs, and spices crumbs and everything, right?
Yup, and no matter how much you try to kill it, it's still alive.
Because you've been chewing on that Blue Chew.
The fact that I just compared myself to a cockroach, Jesus Christ, I'm desperate.
Listen to the show, people. This is what we reduced to, calling ourselves cockroaches. But it's been a lovely time having you on, talking about things. I'm glad I educated you on what Blue Chew is, and Poddex, not Dix, and all those other things and whatnot.
Yeah.
So as it is with anybody that's been on the Random Realms with Rob, you've been a guest once, So you're welcome to come back anytime to promote your next big thing or just come to shoot the shit.
Yes. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here.
Yes, yes, yes.